What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on in NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Steven Heiner. It's Gate City Sports Channel. Sports Channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. What's good, guys? Today's topic. We're going to talk about trying to put a name on this offense, try to identify what this offense is. I'm going to give you the best intel I got because I don't have all 22 access yet, guys, because we're still waiting on Game Pass to release that. It's frustrating, but I have learned a little bit, and I'm going to share it with you. So I want you guys that are veterans to stick with me because I have to curate for everyone's knowledge level here. So I cannot assume people understand some of the concepts I'm saying, so stick with me. It's going to get more encompassing as we go on. We're going to talk about RPO, guys, and what an RPO-based offense is in the way that you would utilize it. So to begin with, I want to bring up one really quick point, which is to look at the top 5 RPO passing quarterbacks on the season. And tell me what you notice real quick, guys. Number 1, Dak Prescott. Then you got like a 3-way tie for number 2 between Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts, right? Look at that list of guys here, guys. Look at the 5 players. What jumps off to you right away? Right. We're talking about quarterbacks who are you're trying to utilize the athleticism of the player. Okay? You want defenses to account for your quarterback being able to punish you. That's I think is the genesis or the basis of the Philadelphia Eagles offense with Jalen Hurts behind center. That's what I think is going on. When I say behind center, guys, I mean that figuratively, not literally, because we're not taking a ton of snaps under center. With that said, what you will also see if you look at this offense, guys, and the structure is look at those top 5 players, look at the RPO rates, and then look at the play action rates, right? All those guys have got 20 or more play action passes on top of the RPO numbers, right? Now, I will say, understand one thing about these RPO readings. They're misleading because they're only tracking when it turns into a pass. So they're not tracking the total amount of RPO plays actually in the playbook. They're tracking how often that RPO play results in the pass. So they're not tracking the running plays. So right from the jump, we heard Nick Sirianni talk about the running game. And what I heard him say from my coach's ears was, I do call running plays. They're in the form of RPOs, and it's up to Jalen Hurts and the offense to execute it, whether it's going to be a run or a pass.
Some heat this week for play calling, especially with the run-to-pass ratio. I'm just curious, how often did Jalen Hurts check out earlier in that first half?
There was some times there are going to be RPOs that were reading somebody, so expecting to hand it off, but the guy does something a little different than what we thought, and as far as checking out of plays, we had some things that we were at the line of scrimmage doing, and there wasn't a lot of those either. So, again, I do need to do a better job running the football. There's no question about that.
Let's get into this, guys. So for everybody, let's just jump right into this entire debate here. So to begin with, RPO, breaking it down, guys, run, pass, option. It's for you all that are not familiar, our younger guys that are in the audience and our younger women who are in the audience. Put it very simply, it's in the title, right? It's a run or a pass option. It's based upon what you see in the box by the defense, guys. There are 4 routes that I generally see, but before I jump into those 4 routes that I think are very common across the NFL, I want to talk about how these things are formed so there's a general understanding. So you're going to have the run design kind of mixed in with the pass concept, right? So when I get into each of them, I'll explain what they mean, right? There's always going to be the run design, inside zone, outside zone, right? There's always going to be the passing concept. So what is the alternative depending on what's happening? So the first one that you hear a lot of, this is something that really, and honestly, I know Chip Kelly gets a lot of credit for bringing the RPO offenses to the NFL. Truth be told, it kind of had been around before Chip, if we're being honest. But Sean Payton is the first one I saw really run this concept, guys, which is it's called a glance option route, right? When you do a glance option route, basically what you're doing is you're looking. You're going to look at that safety or that hook defender, and you're going to watch him play the box. Now, if he runs up and he comes up to play the run, you're going to pull it out of the stomach of your, your running back, and you're going to hit that glance route, right? You're glancing at the coverage, okay? It's really just a Y stick normally, right? You're glancing at that, and then you're going to basically run that Y stick. Now, I will say normally the way that they run this is it's generally speaking inside zone Y stick or inside zone or glance. It just depends on how they play, right? Generally speaking, I have heard sometimes teams will call an outside zone, just they call that the glance, and then inside. But to me, because you're dealing with the Y stick here, no matter whether you call it the glance or a Y stick, it's only inside zone and Y stick. To me, they're the same play. It's just maybe some teams vary it by outside zone. Sean Payton, New Orleans, you'll see this with Carolina because obviously Joe Brady is a disciple of Sean Payton. You'll see that style of RPO played with those two organizations. The second one that I see a lot of, and this is something that I see happening with the Eagles a lot, is it's an outside screen. So it's outside zone screen. So normally what you'll see here is like a little wide receiver tunnel screen. We see this a lot with Quez Watkins and Jalen Reagor with our offense, to where we'll set it up for outside zone. We'll make the read. If it's not there, then we go and we hit that, basically that screen action. This is all based upon reading the box correctly and knowing what you're doing. The third play that I see a lot of in the NFL, it's, you call it the fourth play because technically we went over Y stick nod and we went over the glance route, which are very common, similar concepts here. But the fourth play, if you'll call it that, is what we call the four verts concept. This is something I see Green Bay run a lot of. Four verts concept is inside zone four verts concept. So basically, the way you look here is you got four vertical routes going there. So if you got, I don't know, so you got a quarters, you read quarters coverage pre-snap, and then they bring a safety down to play in the box, right? So they give you a quarters look, right? Or they give you a cover two look, but in reality, they're really going to play cover three, and they're going to shift over and bring one down, all right? Well, when you see that post-snap, then you're going to take it out of the running back's stomach because now they're trying to get one in the box on you for run support, and you're going to hit that because, it's kind of hard to cover up four verts with only three zone players, deep players. These are the concepts I see run a lot from a passing concept situation here. This is what this Philadelphia Eagles offense, in my opinion, has been centered around. This is what it is. It is an RPO-based offense. Now, getting into some of the specifics about Jalen Hurts and the growth here, I don't think we're doing enough in practice. I think plenty's going on in the film room. I trust that part of it. I don't think there's enough field work being done with Jalen Hurts to help him identify coverage, to help him see when it's going on, to help him know the concepts, the routes, to explain the design of the play. He has to have that knowledge base over everything. Because here's the situation. If you have an RPO, call, and you scramble and break containment, you can't throw the football. There is a 99.9% chance that one of your linemen is going to be downfield. If you do that, you just can't do that. You cannot do that. That's a coaching issue to me. That's getting that young man and saying, hey, man, that's about timing. That is a timing issue with the offense. If you break containment, you have to run. You cannot throw because we will get an illegal procedure penalty for this. We're going to have an illegal man downfield. Cannot do that. These are the little things I'm seeing from this Philadelphia Eagles team. It's these little things that are kind of going on here, right? And we can see that they're building the offense and the concept around Jalen Hurts. I can tell that just by looking at the numbers from the RPOs and looking at who's in those top fives with, Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. It's quite obvious. I would say that I think that they would be better served to go back to a more designed run, designed pass offense, mixing in some of the RPOs at times to take advantage, right? Just because if the quarterback's struggling, you have to do things to help them, right? If they're making a mistake and they're pulling it back when they should be handing it off, help the quarterback out with the coaching. So to me, it's not even about the concept of the play call, per se. It's about managing the game plan. It's about managing your players. It's about making sure you're identifying the deficiencies and the struggles of your opponent. And I don't think we're doing that very well from the coaching staff because it's young. I'm not ready to give up on the coaching staff. I'm not ready to give up on Jalen Hurts because this is a very young team inside out. It needs time to develop. But I'm also very obviously can see what's going on here. This is not very well disguised. This is not an issue that's hard to figure out. It's quite clear what's happening. And it's got to get adjusted. It's got to get adjusted ASAP because it's ridiculous how bad this is. Okay? You're talking about a guy who hasn't coached in quite a few years now. It's been a little while since I've coached, guys, because I started making these YouTube videos. I started doing my own thing. I stopped teaching. But when I was teaching, I coached. All right? I've only coached at the high school level. So if I can clearly see these things, and I know, and I've never been a head coach, guys. I've never even been a coordinator. I've always been a position coach. If I can see these things, you think that NFL level coaches don't know this? You think that their personnel staffs don't know this? You think their front office and their scouts don't see this stuff? Come on, man. Come on. That's what's going on in my opinion, guys. It's got to get better. There has to be a little bit more design stuff. We need to try to take advantage of the offense. We need to get the ball into more people's hands than just Jalen Reagor and Devontae Smith. I like those guys. Those guys are playmakers. They shouldn't be accounting for 90% of our attempts, basically. Right? Quez Watkins should be getting some run. He should be getting some play. Dallas Goedert we should be paying attention to the matchups on Dallas Goedert. And for the love of God, you don't have to run the ball to get the ball into Miles Sanders' hands. Okay? Just get the ball into Kenneth Gainwell, Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz. Get the ball into the hands of the player who has the matchup, who has the favorable matchup. Don't worry about what another team does well. Worry about what you can do well against the players they're putting out in front of you. All right, y'all. It's time for me to step off this soapbox I clearly stood on. I apologize for that. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys on the next video. I appreciate y'all's time and attention. Leave your comments down below. Hey, guys, I'm really humbled. Y'all left a ton of comments. I'm so appreciative of the 100 and, I don't know, it was like almost 130 last time I looked. Comments, guys, I'm flattered. I'm sorry I haven't answered everybody's comments, but I'm one guy, and, man, you guys really responded. I appreciate it so much, guys. Just give me a little time. I'll get to everybody. Peace, y'all. See you guys on the next video.